Is miraculous synchronicity a divine message? Revealed through 7 sacred signs of your true self. In the heart of a quaint English village draped in rolling hills, Sarah's life hung in the balance between despair and the hope she clung to. She knelt by her bedside one stormy evening, her hands clasped, as silence enveloped her like a heavy blanket. "Lord," she whispered, her heart a vessel of unfiltered pain. "Please, I need a sign, something that shows me my life holds meaning amidst this heartache." Just as the thunder cracked, a wave of peace washed over her, as if an unseen presence was listening. The next morning, sunshine streamed through the window, illuminating her humble home with golden light. Her eyes widened as she discovered the milk carton on the kitchen counter had magically refilled overnight, its coldness a stark contrast to the warmth in her heart. But that was just the beginning. On her way to the market, she encountered a kind stranger, a woman with silver hair and a smile that could brighten the darkest of days. "You look like you could use a friend," she said, and just like that, Sarah felt an inexplicable sense of acceptance. They shared stories over fresh bread, and the woman handed her a delicate family heirloom, a locket inscribed with comforting words that resonated deeply within Sarah's soul. As the days unfolded, miraculous events seemed to dance around Sarah like stars twinkling in the night sky. A missing toy would mysteriously reappear just when her children needed it most. A letter from an old friend arrived unexpectedly, bursting with encouraging words that felt divine. Each occurrence strung together like glistening pearls, echoing the sentiment that she was on the right path, even if plagued by heavy doubts from those close to her. "Isn't it just coincidence?" her brother asked, concern etched across his face. "You can't just chase fanciful ideas, Sarah." Their words stung, casting shadows on the light of her faith that was slowly beginning to flicker. She found herself tangled between doubt and hope as her relatives whispered amongst themselves during Sunday service, casting uneasy glances at her as if she were deluded, not an embodiment of faith, but foolishness. That it was during a community gathering for prayer and healing that apprehension gripped her heart anew. Sitting among villagers, she felt the weight of all their eyes on her, and her stomach twisted with uncertainty. Yet, in that moment of collective prayer, a hush fell upon the room, almost tangible as thick clouds of dark worry began to lift. Sarah closed her eyes and breathed deeply, her heart bursting with longing for clarity. And just then, she felt a surge of warmth surrounding her, igniting a flicker of hope that had nearly been extinguished. A soft voice echoed in her heart, "You are not alone." She opened her eyes just as her fellow parishioners began to murmur collectively, sharing the energy vibrating through the room. Before we continue, I need to tell you about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system, and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, click the bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can leave a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, tell me in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now, let's continue. Sarah felt conviction pulsing in her veins, prompting her to share her stories of synchronicity and miracles with the villagers. As she lifted her voice, the atmosphere thickened with expectancy. Just as she was poised to reveal the most profound message she'd received, the ground beneath them trembled, shaking the very essence of their gathering. Gasps filled the air as they looked at one another, and questions swirled like leaves caught in a storm. Was this the moment they had all been waiting for, or the beginning of something infinitely more mysterious? The tremor startled everyone, sending a cascade of whispers rippling through the air. Sarah stood frozen for a moment, her heart racing like a drum. It wasn't fear that gripped her. It was an overwhelming feeling of being caught in a divine moment. The villagers looked around in confusion, their faith wavering for just a heartbeat before they felt the warmth of the Spirit enveloping them. All that a man with a worn hat spoke up, his voice trembling yet bold. "Is this not a sign, then? Can we not see it as the earth itself responding to our gathering?" His words rang out, resonating like a bell, and slowly, the murmurings quieted, ushering in a collective introspection. Reflecting on the chaos outside, Sarah took a deep breath, grounding herself with every ounce of faith she possessed. "What if this is the moment we were meant to face together?" she asked, her voice trembling yet steady. "What if the universe itself is inviting us to connect with our innermost selves?" As the villagers turned their gaze toward her, her heart swelled. Just as the storm reveals new landscapes, perhaps this must shake us from our doubts. We've been shown that miracles are not merely fleeting moments, but flickers of our true selves lighting the way through darkness. The room, once filled with uncertainty, shimmered with newfound energy. Women clasped one another's hands, and men nodded in agreement, their hearts beating in a symphony of hope. Sarah felt the spirit surge within her, fueling her words. "My friends, we have been entangled in the web of our fears for too long. Let us choose to believe." And believe they did. The tremors faded, replaced by the soft patter of raindrops against the windows, a gentle reminder of renewal and growth. Suddenly, the silver-haired woman from the market stood and raised her finger gently to the sky. "Look, a light." Her voice cut through the hushed reverence, drawing eyes toward a bright shimmer in the window. Everyone turned their focus, breathless with wonder. A beam of golden light pierced the clouds, illuminating the room like a shaft of divine grace. Sarah's heart soared. "That's it. God is here with us. We are not alone," she declared, her spirit lifted by the magic unfolding. They all witnessed the miracle, feelings of warmth spreading in the depths of their being, sparking a flame of faith that had long been dimmed. Voices rose in reverent praise as the villagers affirmed their connection to the divine. There, in that sacred space, they realized they were woven into a tapestry of miracles, each thread charting a life path not just of hardship, but incredible beauty and purpose. As they celebrated their renewal, Sarah felt another layer of her purpose unfurl. "This is only the beginning," she whispered, knowing that more wonders awaited their discovery. But as the light flickered and danced around them, a chilling thought crossed her mind. What if this wondrous moment had not just been a brief flicker of hope, but the herald of something far greater? With that unresolved mystery hanging in the air, she wondered what was about to unfold. Would they uncover the deeper meanings behind their miracles? A sense of anticipation filled her heart, ready for whatever divine adventure lay ahead. The golden light glimmered like a promise, wrapping itself around each villager as they embraced the spiritual energy pulsating through the space. Sarah felt the warmth within her grow, a gentle fire igniting the deep recesses of her soul. She could hardly believe what she was experiencing, a collective awakening. As the light shimmered, Sarah caught sight of faces transformed. Eyes once dull with uncertainty gleamed with hope. She sensed a shift in the air, a new vibration harmonizing with their collective spirit. The silver-haired woman held her gaze on the light, her expression one of reverence and marvel. "This light, it feels so alive. It connects us, doesn't it?" "Indeed," Sarah replied, her voice soft but firm. "It binds us, reminding us of our shared journey. In moments like this, we are reminded of our calling to lift one another, to rekindle our faith, and to recognize the divine in every trembling heart." As the villagers shared in this sacred moment, a child's laughter broke through, pure and crystal clear. It felt like a reminder that joy exists in the midst of chaos. The laughter acted as a catalyst, urging others to express their gratitude. Voices rose in song, a melody woven from the threads of each heart present. Every note swirled like the golden light embracing them, and with each rise and fall, they felt the spirit drawing closer. "Let us remember," Sarah called out above the harmonious sounds. "Every note we sing, every word we speak, carries the weight of our shared faith." She lifted her hands, signaling for silence. "Let us take a moment to listen for what the Spirit might say." The room fell into an expectant hush as the villagers closed their eyes. The sound of raindrops turned into a gentle rhythm, matching the stillness of their hearts. In that sacred silence, revelations began to trickle in. Sarah's heart raced, feeling something deep within her urging her to share. I sense that we are being called to remember our purpose, she whispered. Each challenge we have faced was not in vain. The trials were mere stones in our path to strengthen us, to build our faith. A murmur of agreement rustled through the room, and she felt emboldened. What if each of us holds a piece of the puzzle? What if together we could unlock the mysteries that lay before us? The silver-haired woman nodded, her voice a whisper. Perhaps these signs are more than just moments of grace. Perhaps they guide us toward our destinies. The thought settled over them like a blanket of peace. Each villager felt the weight of their personal struggles lifting, replaced by newfound possibility. They were not just gathering as individuals. They were forming a tapestry of purpose, colorful and vibrant against the backdrop of life's storms. As the light flickered, dancing across their faces, Sarah's mind raced with questions. What other signs awaited their discovery? What beautiful revelations were still hidden in the depths of their hearts? The world outside might be tumultuous, but within this space, they held the keys to understand it. With a deep breath, she felt an exhilarating pull towards the unknown. Let us seek these sacred signs together. Let us unfold the mysteries of our true selves. What could be waiting to be discovered in sharing our stories? That question hung in the air like a sacred echo, weaving through their hearts. And as the light continued to shine, Sarah sensed that a deeper adventure awaited them, one that would reveal not just their miracles, but their true essence in the grand design of creation. The villagers shared glances, excitement glimmering in their eyes. What will we find when we search within? They wondered aloud, their spirits ignited and ready to venture forth into the divine unknown. The air in the gathering room was thicker now, charged with an electrifying mix of anticipation and reverence. Sarah looked into the eyes of her neighbors, each one a mirror reflecting the yearning for deeper understanding. Let us ask ourselves, she proposed, her voice steady yet filled with wonder. What does each of our stories truly hold? One by one, the villagers shared their tales, their voices weaving a rich tapestry of trials, joys, and yearning. A man with hands weathered by labor spoke first, his deep voice resonating like a drum. I once lost everything, my home, my family. It felt like a curse. But that loss led me to discover a strength I never knew I had. I believe it was God's hand guiding me toward rebirth. As he finished, the silver-haired woman chimed in, her voice tender. Each storm prepares us for the blessings beyond. When I lost my husband, I thought I could never smile again. But in that darkness, something beautiful was born, a community of love and support I never knew existed. Tears sparkled in the eyes of those listening, each revelation striking chords within their own experiences. The sacred moment wrapped around them like the golden light, radiant and warm. What if our struggles are the divine's way of refining us? A young woman said softly, her brow furrowed with thought. What if every tear, every sigh is a step toward unveiling our true selves? The villagers nodded, inspired by the flow of shared truths. They felt momentum surge among them, a collective recognition of their intertwined destinies. I had always thought faith was about believing without doubt, Sarah spoke again, her heart swelling with emotion. But perhaps it's about brave questioning, staying open to how God works in our lives, and, even more importantly, how he works through us. The light flickered once more, as if affirming Sarah's words. Each villager felt the spirit moving among them, stirring something profound. They were no longer just a group of individuals. They had become a vibrant community of seekers, yearning for revelation and healing. In that sacred space, they began to recall smaller signs from their daily lives, an unexpected kindness, a whisper of intuition, an urgent prayer answered in the most peculiar ways. Sarah wondered aloud, could these moments of synchronicity be calling us to something greater? Each heart resonated with the question, igniting sparks of divine imagination. As they reflected, laughter and tears mingled, filling the air with an unmistakable energy of hope. Together, we have the capacity to uncover a greater truth, the silver-haired woman added, her voice heavy with grace. Let us embark on this journey, affirming that every step we take is part of a divine dance guided by a loving Creator. As the villagers took turns calling out their own sacred signs they'd witnessed in life, they felt the connection deepen every word, adding to the glory and light that surrounded them. Sarah closed her eyes, feeling lighter with each story shared, as if layers of fear and hesitance fell away. What awaits us on this path of discovery? She mused quietly to herself. What divine secrets are still waiting to unfurl? With that question swirling around them, hope bubbled up in their hearts, and excitement electrified the air. They were no longer just a group searching for meaning, but a vibrant community ready to embrace the unfolding mystery of the sacred signs that would guide them home. As the golden light enveloped them once more, Sarah felt a new depth of knowing anchor itself within her. What miracle might await them next? What sacred truths were poised to reveal their glories in the light of faith? And it was within that divine wonder, within their shared earnestness, that they embarked on the next chapter of their journey. The energy in the room intensified even more, as if each shared story had painted the walls with resilience and faith. Sarah opened her eyes, glancing at her neighbors, their faces illuminated with hope and expectation. She sensed that something was shifting in the atmosphere, a stirring of spirits longing for connection. Let us not just share, she encouraged, her voice rising gently. Let us seek. Let us ask the sacred to reveal deeper meanings behind our stories. What if every sign, every moment, is a thread weaving us together in divine purpose? A small boy at the back of the room, his innocent gaze bright, raised his hand tentatively. What if we miss the signs? How do we see them? He asked, his voice soft but full of earnest curiosity. The question rang out, echoing the collective hesitation hovering among the villagers. The silver-haired woman leaned forward, her wise eyes sparkling with the depth of her experiences. Ah, but that is the beauty, dear child. The divine signs are often wrapped in the ordinary. We need to open our hearts and eyes. We must recognize that even in the smallest act of kindness, there lies a message from above. She continued, her voice animated. Last winter, I found a young bird that had fallen from its nest. I nurtured it back to health. It felt like such a small thing, but to me, it was a reminder of God's grace. Sometimes we care for something, and it awakens a part of ourselves we didn't know we were missing. Encouraged by her story, others began to share their own revelations, each tale more profound than the last. The atmosphere was palpably charged with the Spirit's presence as a young couple recounted their journey to start a family, marked by trials and heartache. Yet in their longing, they discovered a community of support that extended their family beyond bloodlines. Sarah listened closely, feeling her heart swell with love for her neighbors. She knew that these moments were sacred. It was like watching a tapestry of faith being woven right before her eyes. A gentle murmur filled the room as the villagers began to recount instances of miraculous synchronicity in their lives. A woman spoke of running into an old friend just when she needed advice. Another shared how an unexpected stranger had provided comfort during a moment of anguish. Each story was a brushstroke of divine interaction, painting a bigger picture of love and providence. I had always thought these were mere coincidences, Sarah remarked, her eyes glistening with joy. But what if they are messages? Each one a whisper from God? Yes, the villagers exclaimed, a wave of warm agreement washing over them. They felt it, that divine presence guiding them through the alleys of their lives. Emboldened by the electric atmosphere, Sarah made a bold suggestion. Let us be on the lookout for 7 sacred signs in our lives this week. Let us share them next time we gather. We will see how our paths are intertwined, how each sign reveals our truest selves. Cheers of agreement filled the space. They felt united in intention, a band of seekers eager to trace the fingerprints of the divine in their everyday lives. With hearts ignited by the immense energy, they all felt an unspoken promise hanging in the air. Sarah took a deep breath, feeling the sacredness envelop her. What awaited them in the next week? What revelations were veiled in their stories? As they exchanged hugs and smiles, a gentle breeze swept through the open windows, carrying with it the sacred suggestions of unseen angels whispering promises of discovery yet to come. Could the signs we seek already be unfolding right in front of us? Sarah pondered. The room buzzed with curiosity, anticipation weaving through their hearts as they stepped into the mystery together. The week passed like a quiet stream, each day glistening with potential. Sarah awoke each morning with a heart open to the divine, eagerly anticipating the signs she had encouraged her neighbors to seek. Her spirit danced with the possibility that something extraordinary might happen in the mundane. As she walked through the village, her senses were heightened. She noticed the laughter of children playing, the sweet scent of blooming flowers, and the whispered wisdom of the wind. Was this life always this beautiful, or was she simply more attuned to its wonders? One afternoon, she visited the local market, where the heart of the community thronged. Colorful stalls vibrated with laughter, chatter, and the comforting sounds of daily life. She exchanged greetings with the vendor who sold fresh bread, and as their eyes met, she felt a flicker of recognition. Was there more to this simple moment? "Thank you for always bringing joy to our mornings," Sarah said, her voice warm with sincerity. The vendor smiled, revealing a line of laughter etched upon her cheeks. "And thank you, dear. Sometimes we forget the light we carry." That line hung in the air like a prayer. Was it a sign? Perhaps it was an invitation to realize the impact of one's presence in the lives of others. Sarah committed that moment to her heart, eager to share it with the villagers later. Days flowed on, filled with small encounters and glimpses of grace. One evening, as she strolled along a familiar path, she halted at the sight of a flickering light, an old lantern left hanging from a nearby tree. She moved closer, feeling a warmth radiating from it, illuminating the surrounding darkness. In that glowing moment, memories flooded her mind of friends sharing stories, laughter resonating with love, and the collective spirit of her community. What if this light is a sign? She pondered, a reminder of hope amidst the shadows. Her heart fluttered with delight. Meanwhile, within the village, whispers of divine connection rippled through the air. Different stories began to unfold, woven with threads of serendipity. A stranger offering a helping hand at just the right moment. An unexpected gift of fresh vegetables from a neighbor. Instances of faith shared like breadcrumbs leading to a sacred feast. Each story was another piece of the puzzle, glistening and sacred, revealing the interconnectedness of their lives. As the week unfolded, each villager began to mark their sacred signs, whether in fleeting moments of joy or in deep encounters with grief and healing. Hearts open to the beauty in seeking, all connected in the journey of discovering their true selves together. When they gathered again, the energy was electric. Eyes sparkled with expectant curiosity, souls ignited by what they had experienced throughout the week. Sarah could feel the weight of transformation in the atmosphere as they encircled themselves in a safe space. Hands joined, hearts intertwined. "Let us share," she urged, her voice filled with fervor. "What signs did you uncover? What messages did you receive?" One by one, they began to share their stories, and the air thickened with a deep resonance of faith. Each revelation seemed more profound than the last, revealing a divine tapestry connecting their lives in ways they had never imagined. As the last story filled the room, a hush fell over the gathering. Every heart resonated with the undeniable truth that they were not alone in their journeys. They were part of something much larger, an orchestra of divine purpose. In the midst of the silence, Sarah felt an overwhelming presence, a whisper urging her toward further exploration. What is it that God desires us to learn through these signs? She breathed softly, with hearts racing. The villagers exchanged knowing glances, their souls yearning for more enlightenment. What awaited them next in their journey of discovery? The next gathering took place under the vast canopy of stars, each twinkle a reminder of God's promises. The village square was a tableau of warmth and openness. Lanterns bobbed gently in the little breeze, casting soft shadows on the faces glowing with anticipation. Sarah stood at the center, her heart racing as she embraced the sacred space they had created together. Tonight, she began, her voice resonating like a gentle bell. We dive deeper. Let us reflect on the signs we've seen. Together, we will seek the divine messages woven into our lives. As she spoke, she sensed a tide of energy flowing among them, a shared eagerness to uncover the divine mysteries that lay ahead. The villagers formed a circle, hands clasped, forming a human chain of faith that sparkled with promise. One by one, voices emerged from the circle, each story like a thread in an intricate tapestry. Old Mr. West, with tears glistening on his cheeks, shared how he had nearly lost hope after his beloved wife had passed. But then, he said, his voice quivering, I found an old letter tucked away in her favorite book. It was as if she was speaking to me still. I felt her love wrapping around me, reminding me that I am never truly alone. Gasps rippled through the gathering. The potency of his disclosure ignited flickers of recognition in others. And soon more followed. A young mother spoke of an unexpected encounter with a stranger who returned a lost toy to her child, igniting joy that cascaded through their home for days. An elderly woman recounted how finding a stray cat had brought her comfort during lonely nights and a new responsibility that filled her days with purpose. With each tale, Sarah felt the warmth of the divine draw closer. She listened intently, not only to the words spoken, but to the deeper meanings that shimmered beneath the surface. Each story was a sign, each moment a divine appointment. Then it was Sarah's turn. I felt the divine urge in a simple moment with the bread vendor. She began, her eyes reflecting the faith that filled her, when she said, sometimes we forget the light we carry. I realized we often underestimate our own light. It can shine in the smallest moments, yet create a profound impact. What if that light is key to our own revelations? The villagers murmured in agreement, eyes sparkling with understanding. There was weight in her words, a call to see themselves as conduits of divine love. Is it possible, Sarah continued, emboldened by the shared energy, that these experiences are not mere coincidences, but signs whispering truths about our true selves? Are we being guided to live fully as reflections of that love? As they sat in serene communion, absorbing the concepts shared, Sarah felt the air around them shift. A stillness hung over the gathering, punctuated only by the occasional rustle of leaves. It was as if the very sky were leaning in to listen. This moment was sacred, transcending the ordinary, and they were all participants in a divine revelation. Can we challenge ourselves to seek deeper? She asked, voicing the yearnings she felt pulsing within. What are we being called to discover when we look beyond the surface? Instantly, the atmosphere thickened with anticipation. Curiosity sparked in their hearts. The thought hung over them, a shimmering question wrapped in divine mystery. What awaited them in this journey of deeper connection? The flickering lanterns looked bright against the encroaching night as they held still, hearts now wide open, primed to welcome whatever messages the divine might unveil. The villagers lingered in the hush of the night, held by a collective breath as they absorbed Sarah's words. Hope twinkled like the stars above them, and the soft light of the lanterns warmed their skin and hearts alike. Sarah could see the glimmer of thoughts sparking in eyes that danced like the fireflies around them. Let us invite the divine, she said softly, her heart swelling with expectancy. Let us open ourselves to whatever signs may come. With that, an unspoken agreement settled among them. They bowed their heads, weaving their prayers into the fabric of the evening, a tapestry waiting for God's hand to guide the threads. I end this moment of stillness, A gentle breeze swept through the square, carrying whispers from the trees, as if nature itself joined in their sacred communion. The scent of blooming jasmine curled around them, infusing the air with a sense of calm and reassurance. Suddenly, a voice broke the silence. It was Ruth, a young woman whose laugh could brighten the gloomiest day. "You know what I've been thinking?" she asked, her eyes wide with excitement. "What if every time we feel lost or unsure, God is trying to speak to us? It could be in the smallest things, like a kind word from someone or a ray of sunshine breaking through the clouds." Nods of agreement rippled through the group. They began to share their thoughts, voices overlapping like a choir of beloved hymns. Each revelation ignited the room, a moment of clarity here, an insight of grace there. An older gentleman, Mr. Tully, recounted a time he had lost his way in the woods, only to find a vibrant butterfly leading him back home. The experts might dismiss it, but to him, it was a divine encounter. "It's like being gently nudged back onto the path," Sarah said, heartened by this unfolding interchange. The signs are everywhere, waiting for us to recognize them. They remind us that we're not just wandering. We're on a journey intended by the Creator. As thoughts danced back and forth in the circle, Sarah felt an energy swell above and around them. It was thick with purpose and divinity. She could almost feel the heartbeat of the village, a shared rhythm connecting them all. "Could we be the light for others?" asked a quiet voice from the back. Lily, the soft-spoken librarian, looked slightly shy yet determined. "What if our stories of hope are the very signs God wants others to see?" "Yes," Sarah exclaimed, the spark within her igniting. "That is the essence of being reflections of divine love. When we step into our truth, we shine brighter for those around us. Each telling of our journey inspires another to look for the light in their own." Suddenly, the sky shifted, cloud cover parting to reveal the full moon, casting silvery rays down into the heart of the square. The gathering gasped, a collective or rising like a crescendo. "Look," someone whispered, "Isn't it beautiful?" Sarah smiled, feeling the embrace of the moment fully. God is speaking to us through that light. How often do we forget to shine in our daily lives, blind to the divine synchronicity unfolding? As the moonlight bathed them, their hearts radiated with renewed faith. One by one, they began to share small commitments of light, the simple acts of love they would focus on over the coming days. Then, as the moon stood high, Sarah paused. What if we challenge ourselves to explore these signs even more? What awaits when we truly seek the whispers of the divine? The answers may surprise us. At that moment, the villagers held their breaths, each contemplating the journey ahead, what hidden treasures lay in their hearts, waiting to be unveiled. The profound silence hung in the air, woven with mystery, tantalizing them with the promise of discovery. Would they uncover the deeper truths they thirsted for? The moon's glow pulsed gently overhead, its silver beams cradling the villagers in an otherworldly embrace. Faces illuminated, the essence of hope was tangible, shimmering in the stillness of the night. Sarah felt a sense of unity as each soul around her drifted deeper into the thread of their shared intention. "Let us invite the signs," Ruth chimed, her eager spirit igniting the resolve simmering within the group. "What if we make a pact to search for these signs together, to help one another see the divine in the ordinary?" Lily clapped her hands together, a bright smile illuminating her quiet demeanor. "Yes, a collective quest for the sacred. We can share what we find." As each person nodded fervently, Sarah felt her heart lift even higher. "Let us keep a record of our discoveries and share them each week," she proposed, her voice steady with excitement. "If we begin to recognize how intertwined we are with divine communication, we might uncover truths we never expected." This charting of moments felt big, almost grand. A chorus of agreement swelled through the square, and one by one, the villagers committed to look for signs in their days. The atmosphere thrummed with anticipation, an unspoken prayer of unity unfolding silently. Imagine Mr. Tully spoke, his eyes brightened with life, stumbling across something significant during our daily routines. That simple shift in focus could unveil a universe of connections. Their conversation morphed into vivid dreams and aspirations. John, the farmer, desired to find divine guidance in the rhythm of his crops. Anna, the baker, sought inspiration in every loaf she created. Each desire was a spring from which faith pooled. Suddenly, a rustle interrupted their musings. A light breeze swept through, and the village square seemed to exhale with them. It carried with it the soft sounds of laughter from children playing in the distance, weaving a tapestry of innocence and joy. "Look there," Lily pointed, her voice almost losing itself in disbelief. A cluster of fireflies danced across the dark canvas above, swirling in chaotic patterns that seemed to weave a narrative of their own. Nature is collaborating with us. The fireflies, they could be the first signs of our commitment, Sarah exclaimed, her spirit invigorated by the beauty of creation itself. They watched in collective wonder as these tiny beacons became a living metaphor of their hope, small lights breaking through the vast darkness. "What is next?" whispered Ruth, her expression awash in wonder. Are we being guided to search within ourselves as fervently as we look around us? Inspired, they felt a shift, a warm awareness wrapping around them all as if they had been touched by divine fingers. It was clear the outside mirrored what lay within. To seek the signs was not only about looking outward, but also embracing their own depths. Their voices mingled with affectionate laughter. Sarah could sense an extraordinary momentum starting to swell, each commitment knitting them closer to one another and to the divine. Little did they know, the most significant journeys often travel into the unknown paths of their hearts. In this sacred space, they would embark on a quest that would require courage to look for the divine hand in every corner of their lives, to believe not just in the light of the full moon, but in the glow flickering quietly within. The villagers settled back into soft contemplation. Sarah posed a question that lingered like a sweet incense in the air, slowly swirling into their hearts. What if the greatest sign of all is yet to be revealed in each of us? Have we even begun to uncover the sacred truths hidden within our souls? The night folded around them like a comforting blanket, and the sacred dance had only just begun. Would they find the treasures buried in their hearts? Or would they discover something even more astonishing when they looked within? In the sacred space of the village, under the celestial dome, the air crackled with divine anticipation. Sarah stood amidst her friends and neighbors, witnessing the spark of collective awakening that reverberated in every heart. Tonight, she spoke, her voice firm yet tender. We reflect upon our journey. What divine signs have revealed themselves? What whispers of God have we uncovered in our lives? With eyes glimmering in the soft moonlight, the villagers began to share their experiences, each story woven with the threads of faith and hope. A hush fell over them as Mr. West, tears brimming in his eyes, recounted receiving a letter from his late wife, a final note proclaiming her everlasting love. In that moment, he said, I felt her spirit encompass me, as if saying, "You're never alone." A gentle ripple of understanding spread through the crowd. They felt the depths of that love engulfing them, an embrace that transcended time and space. One by one, stories poured forth. A young mother shared how a fortuitous meeting with a stranger had led to a much-needed revelation about her own strength. A father spoke of the laughter of his children, a precious reminder to seek joy in even the darkest moments. Each shared experience lit the collective heart brighter, illuminating the power they had discovered together. And then, amidst the shared stories, the silver-haired woman, her eyes radiating wisdom, proposed, what if these signs are just the beginning? Each of our journeys entwined in a grand design. Sarah felt a rush of warmth. Perhaps God desires to unveil more than just miracles. Perhaps we are being invited to act as reflectors of that light, spreading hope in the world. Her heart raced at the thought, each beat a divine drum echoing within them all. Nods of agreement surrounded her. They understood. Their stories could be beacons for those who wandered in darkness. Just as they had embraced their trials, they could offer light to others on similar paths. What awaits us if we continue this? Ruth asked softly, her face bright with fervor. Can we uncover the sacred truths waiting to unfold? Yes, Sarah exclaimed, her spirit buoyed by anticipation. Let us commit to being the light. Let us share our journeys beyond this circle bee that spark for someone who is still seeking. The villagers buzzed with excitement, sparking ideas about hosting gatherings that extended the warmth of their encounters into the greater community. Let us create a tapestry of stories that draws others in. One suggested. As the night deepened, their imaginations soared. They saw their small village radiating with divine love. Neighbors whispering words of encouragement, friends lifting one another, and strangers finding solace in the warmth of shared faith, a network of divine signs stitched into the very fabric of their lives. And so, as the last flicker of twilight kissed the sky, Sarah gathered everyone's hands, feeling an electric current binding them together. Let's pray for guidance, she intoned softly. May the divine illuminate our paths as we step forth in faith. In that holy moment, a stillness enveloped them. Breathless, they opened themselves, hearts wide, ready to receive the signs that awaited. One could almost hear the flutter of angelic wings weaving among them, guiding their intention as they stood together as one. Suddenly, a shooting star streaked across the night sky, illuminating the dark with a brilliant flash of light. Gasps erupted from the villagers, eyes widened in awe. Sarah felt the rush of divine synchronicity washing over them, a sign that proclaimed their movement was blessed, their intentions heard. That is our call, Sarah exclaimed, joy erupting in her soul. Heaven is affirming our unity. The villagers raised their heads to the sky, hearts soaring alongside the heavenly light. Let this be the night we step into our divinely inspired purpose. Together, they made a pact to support one another, to share their discoveries, and to spread the sacred signs that have been revealed to them. Within that sacred space, they vowed to fill the world with the light of divine synchronicity, believing that their shared hope and love would illuminate even the darkest corners of life. As they broke that circle, embracing one another with warmth, Sarah felt a profound peace sweep over her. The journey they had begun was just the seed. New stories awaited on the horizon, miracles ready to be unveiled. With hearts ignited by faith, they turned toward the path ahead, each step an embrace of the divine, carving out their roles in a beautiful tapestry of eternal love mirroring the very essence of creation. Together, they set forth into a world illuminated not just by miracles, but by the unwavering light within. And as the first light of dawn peeked over the hills, it felt like the world itself was reborn, reminding them all miraculous synchronicity is indeed a divine message worth sharing. Now, dear friends, this is your moment to join this divine journey. Subscribe immediately to the channel so you don't miss the next exclusive faith stories that could change your life. Leave a like now if this message resonated with you. Every click fuels the algorithm and spreads hope further. Comment below with your reactions and testimonies about this. Ending your voice carries great weight in our community. And share this video instantly with at least 5 friends who need to see this manifestation. You need to spread the light. Don't wait even one more second. Let us shine together.